Good afternoon, everyone. In the previous lecture, we derived the relationship for deviated state from the most probable state, which we got as Px is equal to P maximum exponential of minus f square n divided by 2, where Px stands for deviated state, P maximum stands for most probable state, whereas f is the fractional deviation from the most probable state, and it is denoted by x divided by n divided by 2. And here n is the number of particles, and this is how the equation came out to be. Px is equal to P maximum exponential of minus f square n divided by 2. So today we'll discuss that how the number of particles affects the deviated state and the most probable state. Alright. See here, it is n, whereas this is Px upon P maximum. It is the ratio of the deviated state to the most probable state, whereas n stands for number of particles. In first case, we have 10 raised to the power 3 number of particles, and second 10 raised to the power 6, and we keep on increasing the number of particles. This is the calculated value of ratios. See, this is this much, and we see that it is clear from the data that the ratio of Px divided by P maximum goes on decreasing. Clear? Greater the number of particles, the ratio of the deviated to the most probable state keep on decreasing. That means larger number of particles, deviation will be very small. Lesser the number of particles, the deviation will be greater. Alright. So here, when we plot a graph between Px, ratio of Px to the P maximum with the fractional deviation, we get this kind of a graph. See here, this is the most probable state where the deviation is 0. When we keep on increasing the deviation, that means the ratio of the deviation to the most probable state goes on decreasing. See here, n1 is the number of particles for this graph, n2 are the number of particles for this graph, n3 are the number of particles for this graph. See, whereas n1 is greater as compared to n2, n2 is greater as compared to n3. Greater number of particles stays near to the most probable state. As we keep on decreasing the number of, that means when we keep on increasing the fractional deviation, the number of particle naturally is going to decrease and the graph will broaden. All right. So this is how the deviation basically affects the most probable state and the deviated state. So what do we conclude over here? That as n increases, the probability of macro state decreases more rapidly, even for small deviations with respect to the most probable state. Clear? We have already discussed it. If we plot a graph between Px divided by P maximum and fractional deviation, then the probability distribution curves becomes narrower and narrower as n increases. Naturally, the number of particles stays near to the most probable state. Thus overall, what we conclude, if n is very large, then the system stays very near to the most probable state. This was all about the discussion of deviated state and the most probable state. Now, let us move to the next topic, that is static and dynamic systems. Generally, what is static? When we are at rest is called as static. When we are in motion is called as dynamic. So static systems, if the particles of a system remain at rest in a particular microstate, it is called static system. Dynamic systems, If the particles of a system are in motion and can move from one microstate to another, it is called dynamic system. That means when the particles at rest is called static system, and when particles are in motion is called dynamic system. So now we have equilibrium state of dynamic system. What does it mean? The macro state having maximum probability is termed as most probable state. We know that for a dynamic system consisting of large number of particles, the probability of deviation from the most probable state decreases very rapidly. We know that greater the number of particles, lesser is the deviation. So majority of time the system stays in the most probable state. If the system is disturbed, it again tends to go towards the most probable state because the probability of staying in the disturbed state is very small. We know that. I have already told you when we have a case like moving of particle or jumping of particle from lower energy level to the higher energy level, the particles in the higher energy level always tends to move toward the towards the lower energy state because lower energy states are more stable. Similar is the case over here. The particles always tends to move towards the most probable state. Thus the most probable state behaves as the equilibrium state to which the system returns again and again. That is called as an equilibrium state of a dynamic system. Next, we have distribution of n distinguishable particles in k compartments of unequal sizes. We have already done so many cases for distribution of any number of distinguishable particles in two compartments. Here we have k number of compartments, right? The probability, thermodynamic probability for macro state n1, n2 to nk is given by n factorial divided by n1 factorial into n2 factorial so on to nk factorial, which we can write as n factorial divided by pi I goes from 1 to k n I factorial, whereas pi stands for if we have large number of products. All right. So let the compartment 1 is divided into G1 number of cells. What we have done over here, that compartment 1 is divided into the number of cells. How many number of cells? G1 number of cells. That means particle first can be placed in compartment 1 in G1 number of ways. So now clear, when we put particle 1 into the first compartment, it can go anywhere in G1 number of cells. That means it can be arranged in G1 number of ways. Again, similarly for the second particle can be placed in the compartment 1 in G1 number of. When we throw number of particles in first compartment, that means every particle can be distributed in any way in G1 number of cells. That means naturally particle second can be placed in G1 number of particle and n1th particle can be placed in compartment first in G1 number of ways. That means how do we calculate total number of ways? That means n1 particle in compartment 1 can be placed in G1 raised to the power n1. This is basically a microstate for n1 number of particles. Similarly, n2 particles in compartment 2 can be placed G2 raised to the power n2. Similarly, nkth particles in compartment k can be placed in gk raised to the power nk. That means total number of ways in which n particles in k compartment can be arranged in the cell in these compartment is given by G1 raised to the power n1, G2 raised to the power n2, G3 raised to the power n3, because n1 number of particles can be placed anywhere in the G1, n2 number of particles can be placed anywhere in the G2 cells, n3 particles can be placed anywhere in the G3 cells, and nk particle can be placed anywhere in the gk cells. That means this is the arrangement. Because we have number of products, we can write it as I goes from 1 to k product of gi raised to the power ni. This is how do we arrange all the particles in k compartments. So the challenge is to calculate now thermodynamic probability for macro state, which is given by now n factorial divided by n1 factorial into n2 factorial to nk factorial multiplied by the number of ways, which is g1 raised to the power n1, g2 raised to the power n2, so on to gk raised to the power nk. And we can write it as n factorial multiplied by product of I goes from 1 to k gi raised to the power ni divided by ni factorial. This is the thermodynamic probability for macro state. Alright, this is very important because in the next chapter we'll derive the relationship for various statistics, as we know that one is the Bose-Einstein, Fermi-Dirac statics, etc. and so on. So to calculate or derive relationship for these statistics, first we must be knowing about the thermodynamic probability for the particular statistics. Alright, that is why this thermodynamic probability is very important to understand about. So now I hope it is clear now that how do we calculate number of microstate, means how do we calculate thermodynamic probability for macro state of the system. So I hope now it is clear. If you still have any problem, you can let me know. And thank you and have a nice day.